Hello everyone, welcome to the day 8 of maybe the 100 Days of Cloud series. This is Lakshit Pant. Hi Chandan. I'm really sorry I started 10 minutes late. I was just trying to run this extension for you all. That's why I just got a bit late. But again it's taking a lot of time. It's still not installed, but I'll quickly tell you how to do everything, how to do this quick setup, right? So all you have to do, hi Aksa, hi Chandan. Now, today the topic is ARM templates and how we can install, how we can maybe utilize these. We can make deploy a virtual machine using ARM templates. And what is this ARM means, right? ARM is a Azure Resource Manager. It's not something like fancy. ARM means Azure Resource Manager, and we have these particular templates that are already been there, and we can utilize maybe we can do ARM template. We can utilize ARM templates from the Azure portal as well, but from VS Code, how maybe Cloud Shell, how we can deploy these things right now. Maybe we will talk about those stuff. If anyone has any doubt, any query, please let me know about the previous session. Right? Let's quickly get started. So that yeah, I hope my screen is visible to you all. It will be 15-minute quick session. I'll tell you what all things we'll be covering today, right? It is just about some basic commands you can see right over here. First of all, what is this Azure resource manager VM test? Then we will utilize some JSON files. I'll give you some templates. I'll give you some links how you can just make some resource group, right? And there are some couple of commands that you need to follow, or there are some steps you can follow, right? So this is pretty much that we will do on the day 6 or on the day 8th of this 100 days of cloud series. Hi Daksh. Right now let's just quickly get started. So when we talk about the ARM templates, right, there are a couple of things, so I'll quickly share it with you. We we What are these templates? So if you just maybe if I'll just click on this link, and you will see what are these template looks like, and why we utilize these templates, right? It's because when we talk about when we talk about the virtual machines and deploying it on maybe on a larger scale, right? Doing it from a Azure portal, right? It's very hectic. Doing it from Azure portal, it's very hectic thing. Now, when we did it partial, we less the time, right? The time was less. You saw it took hardly 10 seconds to deploy a virtual machine, 10 to 15 seconds to deploy a virtual machine. Right? Hi Mohan, hi everyone in the chat. So now, why the VS Code, right? Why these ARM templates, right? The fundamental questions that comes to our mind, right? Why this VS Code, right? I'll quickly show it to you. So this is what, see, if you this is what the ARM template looks like. Don't be bothered. I am not going to, ask you to make this entire maybe this and make you write all these JSON files again. What I will do, I'll quickly show you to up. Okay, just give me a second. Like how you can just write this up. It's a quick thing, right? Uh, okay, let me first show it to you how you can do this. So there are some quick shortcuts that I am showing it to you. So first of all, you have to go to in your file explorer. Okay, you just have to make it to your file explorer. And so see, I put my all the coding stuff my E drive. So this is the drive in which I put my all the coding stuff. This is my E drive. I'll go to this 100 days of cloud series. Here I'll right click. I'll open a terminal, right? What I will do, I'll open a terminal and I'll write here code space dot. What I will write, code space dot, and as soon as I'll press enter, it will open the VS Code file for me. It will open the VS Code for me, right? Let's close this. Let's not. It will open the VS Code. Now, what is the why I'm opening VS Code? मैंने इसको directly VS Code open क्यों नहीं किया? Like I'll show you something right over here. If I'll open the in which directory right now I'm in, I am in E directory. Let's wait, right? I am in E directory. I am right now in the E directory in this 100 days of cloud folder. Now, if I'll just simply open this VS Code from a maybe from directly from the taskbar, you will see it will go with the default settings. It will go. So I have created this default setting. So you can always change this default. Like whenever you open your VS Code, you can make those settings that whenever you are opening your VS Code, it will always utilize the C drive, E drive, D drive, or whatever G drive, whatever you want to. But because I have a change that, if see right now, okay, it's opening in this. Generally what it does is, because it's picking up the cache, it opens, like suppose if I'll show you up, right? If I'll go to downloads and I'll right click here, I'll do terminal. My default setting is the C drive, right? So as soon as I'll click on code dot, right, so in whatever, wherever, whichever folder you want to open your VS Code, this is kind of a shortcut. It will help you out to, make, maybe it's kind of a simple thing that you can just always do, right? So if you can see right over here, I'll wait for this terminal to open, right? You can see right now I'm in which directory? I'm in Laksh user. Open these things, right? How you can just make these things, utilize these things. I want to make utilize this folder. So what I will do, I'll go here, I'll open a terminal here, right click, I'll open a terminal, and I'll write code space dot, not code dot, code space dot enter. code code space dot enter. So this is what you can always write if you want to any kind of open any kind of terminal, right? Now if you'll see, the VS Code is open. Now there are a couple of commands. Maybe you already know the commands, but there are some couple of commands, like we utilize make the mkdir. So these are pretty much basic commands, like you can always, when we will talk about these commands later and we will learn Linux. But make dir is for making a directory. So suppose if you want to create a folder, there in 100 days of cloud there is only one file. Now if I'll do this mkdir and I'll write test, it will open me a folder. See here you can see it has already opened the folder. You can see this test is here, right? So this is how simply you can just make a folder, make, RMDIR you can always use to remove a folder. So these are a couple of things, right, that you can do, always do for this. Now what I want to do is I want to make a file. How to make a file? So there is a difference between how to make a file, how to make a folder. When you are making a folder, you have to use mkdir. When you are making a file, you have to use code. Suppose I have to make a maybe a Python file or maybe JSON file. What I will do, I'll simply write it like code maybe test.py. If you want to make a Python file, you can just simply write test.py, right? You will able to see the py file right over here. See, so first of all you have to save it. Now you can see the test file test.py is there. See the test.py. So how I did this code test.py, and you have to save it and you will be able to see it. Clear is the command that will help you to delete everything. So by clear you can delete everything, right? So yeah, now for this we have to make a JSON file. So we have to make a JSON file. What is JSON? See, what is JSON? It is JavaScript object notation. We have to make a JSON file. It is kind of a structured content that eases out everything, right? So what I will do, I'll just make a JSON file code. So you can see this is staying cross, right? So means this has been deleted. What I will do, I'll make a code 100 dot, no, I'll do test.json. We'll make a JSON file here. Okay. Now as soon as you install, maybe make a JSON file, make sure you have couple of things installed. First is Azure Tools. Go to your extensions, go to your VS Code extension and search for Azure Tools. You have to search for Azure Tools and install it. I'm just waiting for this. This is the one. Just click on this Azure Tools and you have to install it. I have already installed it. Make sure it is by Microsoft. Azure Tools by Microsoft. You have to install Azure Tools by Microsoft. Okay. You have to install one more thing, that is Azure Resource Manager. Azure Resource Manager by Microsoft. So these are two things that you have to install. What are the two things? Yeah, yeah. You can always, yeah. If it is Linux, then you can always use touch a.txt. Yes, it is similar. It is touch a.txt, p.txt, whatever you want to do. Now let's yeah, two things you have to install. First is this Azure Tools, second this Azure Resource Manager. Now whenever, after installing these stuff, right, what you can do is, I'll close this. What you can do is, you can just simply write here, what you have to write, ARM. See, now it will show you. So these are the templates. Kubernetes, what you want to deploy, you just want a resource manager template, you want a Kubernetes cluster, you want application for web insights, you want application security group. So these are the ARM templates, Azure Resource Manager, that we were talking about. You want automation runbook, automation scheduler, availability set, container group, container history. All these things are listed here. So we want a Windows virtual machine to deploy. So what I will do, ARM/Windows, I'll click on this one, I'll click on enter. See, now simple, that's it. You will see this entire code will be here. It will self-generate the entire code. You do not have to write this entire code. It will already self-generate this entire code. Now suppose maybe, so your VM name right now is VM, your VM name is right now VM1, Windows VM store 1 storage you are utilizing now, right? If VM DNS network. See, it has the virtual networks, right? It has the virtual networks, right? It has multiple things, right? I'll quickly show it to you. It has default categories and virtual networks, right? It has already it has a public IP, it has a public IP address, right? It has a public IP address. It will be having a public IP address. Then there will be some couple of things more, right? So it will be having this virtual subnet, it will be having virtual, this network interface, and there are a couple of things that it will already have. Windows VM1. So this will be your name, right? Windows VM1, right? So these are couple of things that this server will have. And what kind of server image we are deploying? We are deploying Windows server. We are deploying Microsoft Windows server, right? So this is what the kind of OS this we are utilizing. Windows VM 1000 disk, right? So read write, we have a caching of read write, right? So these are couple of things that it has given to us. Now there is one more thing. So I'll what I'll do it, right? I'll pass this to you. So you have to add some couple of parameters here. Right now, if you will try to maybe install and just initially, if you will try to utilize the command. So see, this ARM template is here. Now if you will just try to maybe run the, if you will try to simply maybe publish this, it will tell you that you do not have a resource group allocated. So what you have to do, you have to click on this option, right now I'm in a VS Code terminal. You have to click on this option and you have to click on the Azure Cloud Shell in the bash one, Azure Cloud Shell bash one. You have to click on Azure Cloud Shell bash. Now it will ask you to sign in. You have to sign in first. You have to do a couple of activities, then you will be able to do this stuff, right? You have to sign in first. Now just 2 3 things left, then we'll quickly wrap it up. It's pretty much easy, right? It's not that hard, right? So you can always explore what are these templates and everything right over here. So it is already open, right? If you will see what are these templates, what are the JSON templates and everything, right? It has already here, everything is here. See, it has all these to do. You can just add some kind of parameters. So all these things are available, all these options are available right over here. Right, so I have already shared this link with you, right, in the comment section. Did I share? No, I didn't, right? Just give me a second, let me share it with you. This is the one. And just give me a second. I can see there is some internet issues are coming. Just give me a second, right? Just give me a second. Let me just figure out with this internet what's happening exactly. I hope I'm clear and audible now. I'm using my internet connection, so I hope that won't be a problem now, right? So this Wi-Fi, I don't know why this Wi-Fi is having some issues with me, right? Yeah. So we were talking about this Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay. Yeah. Hi, hello, Ira. So we were already I have shared these links with you, right? So you have to utilize these links in order to explore, right? So these links are precisely tells you how you can manage or create a virtual. What are these templates and everything, right? So yeah, so we were talking about these templates. Now, what is the next thing that you need to do after installing this code? There is one parameter that you need to add. So if you will go to Michael's documentation that we are following, right? So this is the Michael documentation. So Michael had written this documentation. So Michael has written this code, and he had written this code in 2021, right? It's not working for now, right? So how you can figure it out, how you can just modify this, right? What you have to do, you have to add earlier we used to define a parameter, right? I'll quickly show it to you. We have to define a schema, right? There was a different, like if I'll just show you this, you can see this. There is a schema that has been defined over here. We have to define the content version, everything, right? But now we are using a different JSON format. We are utilizing a different JSON format, right? We are not doing it, right? So what you can do is you can always utilize this JSON format, right? This is the new one. So if do not have to follow this one, this block, because this has some issues of compatibility. This has some compatibility issues. Now from here there are two options, right? Whenever if you will try to deploy this code right over here from the Azure PowerShell, you won't be able to launch a virtual machine. Why? Because these ARM templates are meant for only virtual machines. You are not this doesn't create a resource group. So first of all, in order to make a virtual machine, we have to create a resource group. Now, how to create a resource group? Either you can do this, or if you are using maybe this, if you have to make a resource group, you can always use this maybe I'll close this up. Okay, so what I will do, so what you have to do is utilize this. Wow, it's great. This best of luck for your day one. uh so if you are starting, if it's your day one, then I'll ask you to please go to yesterday's session that we have done. Day seventh is On the day seventh we have covered everything, on a one day. So it was kind of a recap, but you go one by one. But why there is some problem, right? You go one by one, but on the day seven we have already discussed everything. On the day seven we have done a recap of everything, right? Yeah. So this is the command that you have to utilize. Now in this one you have to change your this resource group name as well as your password, and this admin username as well. So the one you can see right over here, you have to change this user group name, right? You have to change this as your user, and also you have to change this password. when you will be setting up the remote desktop connection, अगर आपने देखा होगा, हमें हर बार जब एक वर्चुअल मशीन यूज करते हैं हम, और जब भी हम उसे कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं, इट आस्क अस द द यूजर नेम एंड द पासवर्ड, राइट? So that username and password, you have to add a parameter from here. Why again there is some kind of internet fluctuation? Give me a second. What exactly happening with this? uh, yeah, it's here. Wow, it's very bad, right? You can see this, just there is one, just there is this just one ball, right? This is very bad. I'm on a very bad internet connection. I'm really sorry for that, right? Yeah. So there is one last thing that you have to make sure. Make sure you add a parameter in your key, maybe this code. So this is the self-generated code, but I have added one parameter right over here. Now what is that parameter? Now this parameter is about, so if I'll, so first of all you have to search for this, you have to change this, right? You have to change your parameters with this. You have to search for admin username and you have to change this so that your fetch it directly from there. This will help you fetch all the parameters right over here. I hope this is understood. So you have to change this in the code that you have been given. This admin username, we have to pass on the parameters. Why you have to okay, why you have to add this parameter? Because we are adding a username and the password right over here. So whenever we are passing, whenever because right over here we were asked, we are adding a username and password because we require this these username and password thing, right? So we have to add this in the our JSON script. We have to add this username and admin password in our user script. Now there is one more thing that you need to add. Now what is that one more thing? You have to add. So how I got this, this is why I'm giving this code to stuff. And because this, see, he has also added this parameter stuff, right? You can see this, he has also referred this parameter. Okay, he has also done this. Yeah, he has also added this parameter. So you have to add this parameter type string metadata description so that you can add a username and password right over there. You can add a username and password right over there. So if you have any doubt or any query, you can always, I'll write a detailed blog about it. But if you have any questions, any queries, you can always ask me in the WhatsApp group. Otherwise, you can, if I'm not this blog that is written by Michael. It was about the admin part. These are the only two things. Right, this is again, Is it fine now? Is by any chance is it fine? Just let me know. Can anyone tell me? Is am I audible? Am I audible now? Clear, clear, concise. Can you guys can hear me? Can you hear me, folks? Any comments also? Wow, wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Era. So let me just quickly give a gist about this, right? What I have done, right? I'll share this file with right. I'll share this with you, and so that you will be able to make this. I'll quickly change the username and everything, right? I'll just change. Uh, so what I'm doing is I have to add two things in the test, in the JSON script that you will get the default. So this entire 150 line of code you will get just by AR template and whatever. You have to add this A part, just to add extra part in your script. Why? Because we have to add to provide, and we need an admin username and password access, so it can be one admin who can manage all the things. There can be one admin who can manage all the things, right? So that's why we are using a username and a password parameter right over here. So I'll share this entire file with you so that you can always explore this, and you can you know right. So I'll share this file with you, right. I'll share this file with you. Not worry about this file. I'll quickly share this file. So you have to add those parameters. Now there is one more thing. If you want to deploy this virtual machine, you can deploy. The extension is still not yet installed, right? That's getting some issues. How you can deploy it? You just have to. It's open Azure shell right now. You have to open the Azure shell. It's taking some time. I'm just wondering some time. It's still in process. So after the yourself, once you have done this, first of all you have to do your maybe go for me it's 100 days of cloud dot json, right? First you have to go in the repository in that folder that you are in, right? You have to go in the folder that you are for. Okay. So I was talking about this. So what you have to do, you have to add these two parameters. So I believe no one would understand, right? So the default code that you will generate from the VS code, you have to add first of all these. You have to change this admin username and password. Also, you have to change one more thing. You have to add one more section. This section of admin username and password. This will input the admin username password from you, right? You can always so when we will pass a resource when we will pass a resource group, right? We have a command written here for the resource group. Right? When we will pass this resource group, we'll add that additional parameter that we have to, yeah, while setting up the remote desktop connection, all ask for admin and password. So this one. Now again in this Azure user and Azure admin, you have to change your username and your password and your resource group as well. So suppose if your user group, right, your username group is dot user, if your file name is, so my file name is vm deployed dot json, or if your file name is for today, it is test.json. Now again for user Akshit, and for password it will be maybe Azure 1 2 3 4 there, whatever. So these are a couple of things JSON file. So these are a couple of things that you need using this piece of code while you will be running this piece of code. Now, why I have given this piece of code, and when you will run this piece of code, you will change here everything, parameters, everything you will add. Then you have to open the Azure Cloud shell. You have to open the Azure Cloud, the VS Code, or you can open portal.azure.com or whatever directory you're in. You have to go there, right? You have to make a remote desktop connection right over there, and you have to be able, maybe you will be able to, launch a resource group with a virtual machine, and now your virtual machine will be displayed over here. Uh, Maybe in the Azure portal. Now, if anyone has any doubt, I know, right? There is, so I quickly repeat this. I'll repeat the step. Please give me a second. I'll repeat the steps again. I'm sorry for this internet right now. I know, I don't know why there is some issue with StreamYard only. For rest bloody StreamYard, I don't know why this is happening, right? So first of all, you have to maybe uh, make a JSON file. Now, you don't have to make a JSON file. So first of all, you have to install a couple of things. Visual Studio Code. Then you have to install this Azure Tools in extension, Azure Tools extension on VS Code. Then you have to buy Microsoft. You have to use a templates. You have to install it, make a, you have to make a JSON file. Then you have to search for ARM VM Windows. You have to deploy a Windows virtual. You have to deploy Windows virtual machine. Now you have to add the parameter for admin and password. Okay, you have to add 2 3 blocks for admin and password. Pass the description for admin and password. This is another step. Then what you have to do is there is one more thing I guess we're left with. Yeah, that's it. And save the file. Then you have to open. So I'll just this will only create the virtual. We have to create the resource group first. How you create this group? I have already given the command. This is the command that you have to run. Azure deployment group, create resource group. This is the open the Azure shell, move to your directory, and then run the command for making the resource group. Then the vm make command. And these are the pretty much steps that you need to follow, right? I'll quickly share it in the chat. So these are the one by one step that you have to follow. Make sure you copy this somewhere. Make sure you guys are copying this somewhere so that you will be able to, if you're missing out on something, you will be able to do it. So this is how simply you can make this possible. I've already shared you some couple of resources. While you are doing, while you are in the parameter, make sure you are doing the right. It's in the right syntax. So from here you can take an inference. Obviously, I'll write site, and I don't think there is a sense of again repeating showing the steps because the internet is pretty much messy. It's a waste of time for me as for you as well because you are not able to see anything. That's why I've all these steps right over here. And again, I'll quickly write a blog. This is the day 8, right? If you are having any issues, feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp in the WhatsApp group only. So if you are on whatever day you are, just feel free to reach out on the WhatsApp group. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Those who have joined, I'll try to rectify this internet issue, right? And I'll just share with you the quick update about how to make this. If I'll get some video, if I'll get some kind of video how to make a ARM template, I'll share it to in the group only. Right? So thank you everyone for joining in. That's it for today. See you tomorrow. Right? And I'll quickly share you write a blog and share it with you folks. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you. That's one thing.